Here we are from Venice, Italy. This is my very first Hangout on Air, and I'm very happy to welcome my dearest friend, Robert Redl from Austria. Please introduce yourself, Robert.
Ciao Pio and the world, my name is Robert Redl. I am an IT guy from Vienna, Austria, and I'm also quite new to Google+. I only have it since August 2011, and I'm very happy to have the possibility to have a conversation with Pio and all of you.
Great. You were the first person I hung out with when I joined back in August myself, and I wanted you to be the first one on my Hangout on Air, which I have got tonight, and I'm very happy to have this. I hope I can use it properly to the benefit of Google Plus community and also for my own benefit and enjoy it. So let me ask you a couple of questions, Robert. I know you are an expert of this ghost town or this city that doesn't sleep, as I like to call it. And we've had some news here the last couple of days about the layout. That's what everybody's been talking about, at least. So what is your take on this new layout that Google has put out in the last few days? Give us your view, please.
Yeah, overall I find it quite okay because Google, I believe, really reacted to the feedback we gave to them. And we should not forget that so many people are the users of Google+, and you cannot make a feature just for one person. You have always to balance how much feedback you get about a single feature. My personal opinion is, for me, the user interface is not that important because I'm a very technical user and I could change this also myself. So the functionality behind it, those features are more interesting to me, and maybe with all the buzz about the user interface, how it looks, I always like to look under the skirt a little bit and look at the details. I'm talking about Google Plus at the moment, and I'm worried more about other features, like, for example, when you post on Google Plus and you have discussion there, and after a few days or during the course of the discussion you find out that the URL that you have linked in your article has changed, you cannot edit this anymore. They have taken this feature away, so you cannot use Google Plus as a wiki or as a real blog where you can change the URL to a video or to an external web page. When this URL has changed, you only have the possibility to make a new post, but then you lose all the conversation that has already taken place. So those little details are more interesting for me. But I also like, for example, on air, that it is rolled out to a wider audience now, that you are able to use it. And the integration with YouTube gets better. And the best thing that happened for me is that the URL of the YouTube video stays the same between the live and later the on-demand version. There is still a little break, about an hour or two, when they have to render the video, but at least the place where you watch it live and where you can watch it on demand later stays the same. That's a good thing.
Great. Now, I like to say my opinion on the new layout is I like it overall, but I would like to see more of it on the page, like we were able to do before. Like we could see 6, 7 posts at a time versus the 1 or 2 you can see it now. But that's just a detail, like you say. Next question to Robert is, what is the thing that you would like to see right now added to Google Plus, and what is the feature that you would like to see taken off from Google Plus as of now?
Yeah, I would like to see that the circle management is easier to do. It is very lovely to attract new users. All the design that they made with the famous person that was doing it. But for a professional, or for a power user, let's say a power user that is just using the tool very often, it would be easier that we can use the circles like tags, for example, that I could give you a circle based on country for Italy, a circle based on the time zone, and that it is very easy to edit those tags and also to share the structure of the tags or take from a given structure. At the moment it is very difficult. When you try to use circles like tags, then you have a hard time. So I would like to make notes and other stuff when I'm on the user profile to be better organized. And what I like to see to go away is the suggested user list, because it is just over amplifying a small amount of users and does not really help because it's working against new users when they are trying to find out, okay, what is going on Google+. They are circling, for example, suggested user circles, but then the interaction is very different than with the power users and the core groups of your topics. So I believe you should find your topics yourself during all the conversations that you have. It works quite well for us that we found each other for the topics photography and social network.
That's why I created that circle of the Musketeers in order to help somebody who comes into Google Plus and doesn't know who to circle. I suggest, not because I made the circle, but for the people that are in the circle. And they are all very reliable and worthy people that someone who doesn't know how to move the first steps could be helped by the people in that particular circle, the Musketeers of Google Plus.
Yeah.
And so I think that's something that has to be implemented to the help of, but there are a lot of groups out there. I've seen a post today. They are creating mentors for the people who are joining. There is also a great book now from Guy Kawasaki that's been going out on the Google Plus, and so there are tools that can be used also by people who just approach the Google Plus city that never sleeps. I like to call that.
Yeah.
Like in New York, a virtual New York. Next question for Robert, and then I will close this because I don't want to make too long. Being then, when I watch a video, I like it to be short.
Yeah, it's already too long. Yeah.
When it's too long, nobody wants to watch it. So
exactly.
This is my last question, and then we'll say goodbye. Where do you see Google Plus going? How you see this great place growing in the future?
It depends if Google Plus is really going to be open also for external developers, because we see Google as a very big corporation, but if you divide it into slices, like into smaller departments that have to work on specific features, there are not many people, not much horsepower for every single feature. And so Google needs the power of the community and should open its API, its programmer interfaces, and they should not lose this opportunity. I believe they are strong enough to fight spam even when the APIs are going to be open for writing, but it is really needed that you get the talents and the manpower of the community to boost it. If they don't do it, it could become another silo like Facebook and Apple with their iOS, iTunes ecosystem have it, and then we will go on and go to the next open source community tools.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Robert, for being my first interview.
Thank you, Pio. I'm very happy.
Hangouts on Air. I'm very proud of that, and I'm glad you accepted. So I'm going to end the broadcast in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.